Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again for another one of our videos. This is a little bit unique video. It's a different kind of story, and I really wanted to get have an opportunity, a chance to capture this story because it's not unique to the situation. It's just that unique that he came here and he found us. This is Jeff. I'm sorry, Jeff. What's your last name?
Jeff Sanford.
Jeff Sanford.
Hill Country Hides and Taxidermy in Campwood, Texas.
Campwood, Texas. Out there near Uvalde, right?
Yeah,
oh,
it is.
Man, I love it out there. It's a beautiful country. So do you have a business? I mean, other than taxidermy, or is that all you do? Or
Yeah, so
your
taxidermy.
background is amazing. Like just the stuff you told me, but.
So we moved up there recently from Houston, where we owned a shooting range for 15 years.
Nice.
High volume shooting range and gun shop. And so moving out of Houston, I wanted to stay in the gun industry because that's my bread and butter. That's
Right.
what I enjoy doing.
Right.
And so I wanted to get into laser engraving. And so we moved out there, and I had already had my machine a few months, and was floundering.
Right.
And man.
Which is not, and it's sad to say, I guarantee you there's 3,000 people doing the exact same thing you're doing right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man.
How did you hear about us?
I knew about you guys because San Antonio Laser Engraving is where it's at for all gun stuff.
Right.
Any of the top engravers across the country all come from San Antonio Laser Engraving.
Right.
And
They get their start here for sure.
yeah. And so this was the place I had to come. I knew there was nowhere else I could go after what I've already done to get to this point.
Right.
It was come here or die of a heart attack or stroke out. One of the two.
I'm gonna stroke out with this thing.
I'm dead serious. I actually had to go get blood pressure medication about 2 weeks into
Wow.
the laser.
It is because it is complicated, but if you have the step-by-step equation that we use here, the formula, it's actually not that bad, and I'm sure you found that out this week. How long was that process of you got your laser till where you're like you're pulling your hair out and you're like, finally, okay, that's it, I'm gonna just call San Antonio?
It was about 3 months, and in that 3-month time frame, I've done a lot of training. I've spent more than $1,000 on online Zoom training.
How was that?
Well, if you don't know any better, it's great.
Right.
And if you don't know any better, you think that all this long, convoluted process that you have to go through that's confusing as can be, that if you get a finished product, I didn't know how I actually did it. It was just the luck of the draw,
Right.
And I had that success just enough to keep me going.
Oh.
So it's like fail 50 times, a little bit of success, fail another 50 times.
And then they call you back and they hit you with that, if you sign up right now, we have this advanced program.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. All right. So that's good. How many different courses did you take, do you think? Or I don't know exactly what you took.
At least 12 different sessions. Most of the sessions were either an hour or about 3.5 hours.
Did any of that come with your laser, or you had to seek somewhere else to find the training?
None of that came with the laser. And when I got the laser, I did my research, and I feel like I got reputable dealer and such. But it was passed along. I've been passed along from the dealer to the online fiber lessons and such from social media people, and it was just a waste of money. I flushed it down the toilet because I would finish the lessons and I still really didn't know what to do.
Right.
Image processing, everything. There's so much that goes into it. And so after doing all that, and right before I came to class, I had a final utter failure that was just, all right, wife, I'm packing my stuff and I'm going to San Antonio right now. And she said, well, you can't pay your invoice. I was having a problem paying my invoice online. She said, what if you get there and they say you can't take the class? I said, honey, I'm taking the class. I don't care what they say. I'm getting in there. And so thankfully,
because you
took
called
me
on,
over
you called
welcome
on
arms.
Friday and you were here like this Monday, right? Like
Yeah.
It was a straight,
Yeah.
I can imagine that level of frustration. Trying to figure out something like this, and of course, we come on in, Jeff. We'll figure it out.
And the thing is that in the first hour, the tuition I paid for the class was done. Like I got my money's worth in the first hour, and the entire rest of the week was icing on the cake.
It's candy, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And learned so much more than I thought. The process is so much easier than I gave it credit for. Now, I'm not gonna say it's easy,
Right.
because it's certainly not easy for me yet.
Right.
But I've been given the building blocks by S.A.L.E to make sure that when I go home, even if I sit in front of my computer and I have an issue, I can go back to my notes, I can go back to the folder you gave me, I can call you guys, and I can get that taken care of. And that means so much to me. And you know, I spent so much time, Mark, just spinning my wheels, burning my cash, you know, and it was all because at the beginning, I wanted to save a few bucks.
Yeah.
You know?
That's always, and that's a lot of there's a lot of other people's stories.
Yeah, and I looked, you know, you were the first place I looked.
Right.
And I thought, man, I'm moving, I'm building a house. I would like to do this, but I can't afford to right now. And so I went the cheaper route of getting my own machine, seeking outside training.
Right.
And what did that get me? 3 months of downtime where I'm not making any money. And I'm having to tell customers, oh, not quite ready yet. My machine's not set up yet, you know, and that kind of thing. And by the time I'm ready to go, they're long gone.
Yeah.
And so if I would have just done this at the beginning, just bought the S.A.L.E laser, got my training, it could have been paid for already.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's such a hard thing to communicate to someone on the other end of this camera. Somebody watching this video, I mean, this video could be seen 3 months from now or 3 years from now, but it's a hard thing to describe to someone ROI. To explain to someone ROI is so difficult. But when you get here and you understand by the 5th day, I know on the 6th day, I can make money with my machine. Yeah. That's it's very hard to explain to somebody. And it takes people like you. And that's why we like to do these videos, is because it takes people like you. I'm not telling you to say that. I'm giving you the opportunity to talk to someone else who is doing this, who's in the 3rd month of their super frustration and saying, I don't know what to do. I have this investment. I don't know what to do with it. And it's giving those people, an opportunity to come here, but also someone else who hasn't even hit that stage yet and say, I don't want to go that route. Yeah. I'd rather just go somewhere where, 1, they have a good machine, and 2, they know what they're doing. Like, we're all engravers here. I just got done engraving, 50 cups. I mean, this is what we do here. Literally, lasers is what we do. So I really appreciate your story and being able to communicate it to someone else.
You know, by, what was it, lunchtime on day 1, I was telling Anthony that I need to make a testimonial for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, day 1.
Yeah.
And I already knew.
Because you're, like you, I also, I'm on most of the online stuff, the media, social media, Facebook, a lot of the groups. On YouTube, I subscribe to a lot of different people's channels, and I just watch because I like to know where people's heads are at when they're looking or when they're doing their homework on lasers. And a lot of what's on YouTube some of it is okay, but it's not truly factual.
It's just like in the gun industry, you know. I'd have customers that would tell me they're watching a certain YouTube channel and I just cringe, you know, because that guy may have a lot of followers, but that doesn't mean what he's teaching is correct.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so this is just, when I went into it, I had some pretty decent success to start with on a CO2 machine. And so I thought that was gonna just translate right over. And let me tell you, it does not translate right over in the least.
Yeah.
You know?
CO2 is very user-friendly. I mean, if you're talking about from a newbie's point of view, CO2 is probably much easier of a concept to grasp. This is not. If you're trying to do it on your own, that's I say 3 to 8 month learning curve.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes a year if you're slow.
If you're lucky. I think if you're lucky, because man, I was like on the 10-year plan, you know.
It is tough. It's a tough thing to explain to somebody. Without giving away the farm and saying, here's what we do here. But I mean, vectorizing graphics and doing outlines the correct way to create an outline, then inserting your patterns, inserting logos into those patterns. I mean, all that stuff is stuff that we cover, and people are struggling with their graphics, and then not only that, struggling to get it in a format that the laser can understand, taking it from whatever graphic software you're using into EasyCAD. I mean, we cover all that stuff, and I feel like people get really frustrated with that. That part is kind of tough.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The hitting mark on the laser is probably the easy part. It's
Yeah.
everything you did before that. It's like a good painter. I mean, the painting part is easy. It's the taping and doing all the stuff before then.
Absolutely.
That is the tough part.
It's
so.
the tough part and the most important part.
It,
you know?
yeah, it is the most important.
And my experience, I relate it to, you know, I'm going to go watch a high school baseball game at a high school field today. And fine, that's some online training.
Right.
Tomorrow, I'm going to Yankee Stadium and I'm going to hang out with the Yankees in the dugout.
Right.
That's coming to S.A.L.E.
Yeah.
And as soon as I met you guys, as soon as we started the classes, started seeing things, it was like I could breathe for the first time in 3 months.
Because
you know,
a couple of things. One, you got the knowledge, but two, you also, I'm sure it's a relief. You feel like I didn't totally blow my investment. I mean, I don't have this.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you don't have our machine, but I understand the frustration. Like, at least when you get home, you know you'll be able to kind of walk your way through.
Absolutely, and let me tell you, I will have one of your fiber machines soon. And the CO2 machine, I'm going to get another one of those as well.
Yeah.
So,
our CO2 is pretty awesome.
I will have some S.A.L.E. machines shortly, I promise.
But no, Jeff, I really appreciate you just telling us your story and giving us the opportunity to capture it on video. I think it's really important.
I can't thank you, Fred, Anthony, Jordan, Aaron, everybody. I can't thank y'all enough because, you know, this is something that I thought I was going to be able to move right away from Houston and you know, open up my shop and start engraving.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be able to learn how to be a professional, and that was not the case. And so now I finally have the building blocks to be able to do this as a means to you know, supplement income and support family and such.
That's good.
And so
that's what we want. We want you to be successful.
This has been a life-changing experience for me. And you know, that's
awesome to hear.
if there's other people out there in the same boat, the tuition money is worth every penny. And I can't recommend enough to come to San Antonio Laser Engraving. This place is a family. Y'all have something really special here. You know, I'm a small business owner. I moved from a place where I had several employees.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a group of employees. Even my business was about half, I had about half as many employees as y'all. It's really hard to get a group together that buys into what the company is doing and buys into the mission of the company.
Right.
And it was obvious in my first couple hours here.
Yeah.
There is not anybody here who is not 100% bought into what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so this is the kind of company that I want to support. This is because I know there's going to be support for me when I need it.
Right.
So when I think of it like that, when I look at the website and I see how much the lasers are, the machines are, the training is, it's worth every penny now. 3 months ago, I couldn't see that.
Right.
Now, it's worth every penny, and I should have done this 3 months ago.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing to explain. I'm just a one guy here, and I appreciate those kind words, and because sometimes that's, you try really hard to create that as a company, and then to communicate that to your customers who are not only here but people who could be coming here. And we really do look at it like a family, and that starts from the top, from the owner all the way down. We all feel the same way, and you're part of that family, man. And you're certified. You're an engraver, so I'm really looking forward to see the cool stuff you do, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Appreciate you for coming out, man. If you want to know more about our lasers, subscribe, YouTube, go to our website. There's a lot of good information there, and videos like this. If you get on our YouTube channel and watch them, I'm not pressing you to buy our laser. I'm getting you the information so that you're asking the right questions when you're considering buying a laser. Ask what kind of training they have. Ask what kind of after-sales support they have. Ask those really important questions because that's what's going to determine if you're successful with your laser or if you're not. You don't want to be at the third month pulling your hair out and then still end up, paying to come to someone to train you. So I appreciate your story, Jeff. And if you're out there and you're still confused, give us a call. We can tell you the truth at least. So have a good one, guys. Until next time. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Anything.